Hello everyone, I hope that you're doing well today. And in this video, I am going to be making some apple crisp, and then I'm also going to be organizing all of my dried herbs that I have. I have quite a few. And then I'm going to be, I have all my spices and stuff in this cabinet, and then I'm going to be cleaning that out, just getting all the dust and whatever out, and just organizing the new spice jars that I put on the shelf. And so continue watching and we'll get right into it. So I have already shown a video where I make the green apple crisp. That's when I'm using green apples. And I will mention that video in the link description down below. I'll have a link, and then I'll also write out the recipe as well if you're intrigued to know what it is and you don't want to go to the other video. Okay, so it is the next day, and I'm going to be taking care of my seeds and some dried herbs as well. So I have a bunch of the wild bergamot, which is also called bee balm, and they have like a purplish flower that grows on top. And I'm going to be taking the flowers and putting that into a different jar versus the leaves that are on here. And I already have some leaves that were from last year, and so I'm going to go ahead and get some more in there. And I have a little bit of oregano, and so I have a little jar full of that. I don't have much And then we also have some German wintertime that I have a whole bunch of. And that might be the thing that I might not get to all of it today, which is fine because I do have a lot of it. And then I've got some different types of seeds from the sunflowers. I don't fully know what all of them are. I know what a majority of them are, but there's a couple of them that I don't remember. I should have labeled them. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. First thing that I'm gonna do is label this jar, and that's the only other jar that I need. I thought I had would need more, but I only need this one. So we're gonna label this one the flowers of the wild bergamot. Okay, so these are some of the seeds that I have right here. The first thing that I'm going to do is the wild bergamot. So I'm going to pull all of the leaves over here. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing is cutting off the flower, from off the stem, and just put it into my, I forgot what you call these. And I'm gonna go ahead, and once I get them all in here, then I will mash them up. Okay, now that I have all of the flower part of the bergamot in a jar, I'm going to go ahead and focus on the leaves now. And I'm just going to break them off of the stem and put them all in here and do the same thing. I really like waiting a long time for the leaves to dry up on certain plants that I grow, so that it's very easy to break down and have as a seasoning. Okay, so next I have this oregano, and I think I'm just gonna wind up just breaking it off and putting it right in here because it is so small, and I can just sort of break it up with my hand, with my fingers, and then I can just get it off the stem like so. don't have much oregano either, so I don't mind doing it like this. So before I get into the German winter time, I'm going to be organizing the seeds. I've got a couple of pepper seeds, excuse me, and then I have some sunflower seeds. These seeds right here are long sweet pepper seeds. I'm pretty sure that these were seeds from a pepper that we bought from the store, and I decided to keep the seeds. As I was gathering the seeds, I just remembered I did buy a packet of seeds that was a different variety of peppers. Sorry, there's somebody outside with a dirt bike, I think, or something. If you hear some noises, which I don't care. But yeah, I just realized I have these seeds. I didn't have a pepper from the store, and I got seeds off of. I don't know why I thought that. I think I was so used to only having 2 different varieties of pepper seeds, and that's the Cupid, and I think the other one's called Glow sweet peppers. Yeah, the Cupid sweet peppers and the Glow sweet peppers. And then I totally forgot, I bought these long sweet peppers, just to try something new. But yeah, I got these seeds now. I got a whole bunch of them. Pepper seeds, tomato seeds, those are always great to keep because you will always have a whole bunch. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that I know some of the sunflower seeds and what variety they are. I know that these are the dwarf sunflower seeds. I already had saved some. I think it may have been earlier this year. I don't fully remember. And then these were later in the year, if I remember correctly. And so I'm just going to go ahead and get the seeds out of here. It's pretty easy to get sunflower seeds out. It is helpful from my experience to have them dry out completely. And then what you want to do is you can kind of like use your thumb to push down and you'll see them pop out. And I try to make sure to keep the seeds that look good and healthy, because sometimes you'll pick, sorry, there's a fly. Sometimes you'll look at the seeds and they might be hollow, or they might be really thin, or maybe they didn't grow fully. Because especially when you get towards the middle, they're going to become smaller. Like the seeds on the outside are usually the best ones to harvest. And with sunflower seeds, I love growing sunflower seeds. I will grow sunflower seeds every single year. It is something that I have promised myself. And then the other thing I wanted to grow every year, and I didn't really do it this year, was the summer squash. I really like growing the summer squash because that has a lot of pollen in those plants, in the flowers, and it's just really good for bees, pollinators, and even for the garden, like growing cucumbers and other things like that that need to be pollinated in order to grow. it's always useful to have flowers or some sort of plant that does flower, and then you get a bunch of pollen from it. So that's something that I need to make sure that I grow next year. But sunflowers are great for that too. A lot of pollen. Okay, so the next one that I will be gathering is the strawberry lemonade sunflower seeds. And the reason that I know that is because these were the petals that came off of it. So I was able to tell. I'm just going to go ahead and write down what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and gather these seeds next. I don't really think there's going to be a lot on this one because it's so small. I might not even get any at all. So I was noticing as I was getting the seeds off of the other plant, they look a lot like the strawberry lemonade seeds. So I'm going to assume that it is, and I was able to get a good handful of seeds from it. So on the bag I put SL with a question mark because I'm not really sure if they are strawberry lemonade variety or not, but have it labeled so in case if they are, then I will know. And I even try to compare it to like another seed that I have right here off of this other one. And these are a different size than the other ones, and they're also a little bit darker. These are more of a grayish color, like an off black almost color. And then the other ones right here, they're a very dark black. And so I guess I was verifying that, you know, those seeds are different. And they look different. So we'll see in the future if these actually are strawberry lemonade or not. Okay, so I have this one left and this one left. Now, as I'm looking at this one, I think this is the mammoth one or the large sunflower variety that I have. I think I have two different kinds. There's a mammoth and then there's another, I can't remember what the name of it is. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in two different bags and just label this one mammoth or big, and then this one sunflowers, because I'll be honest, I don't know. Next time I'll have to label them. I have a good amount of different varieties of sunflower seeds, so I may or may not truly know what it is. But I'm going to go ahead and get more little baggies, and I'm going to go ahead and label them first. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the smaller head first. These seeds on this sunflower are very nice, and it looks like I'm going to be getting a good amount. Okay, so these are my pepper seeds, the two varieties that I mentioned earlier and forgot that I had another one. These are Cupid, the red ones. Might be hard to see that it's red. These are Cupid peppers. Both of these varieties are mini peppers, which is why I like them, because you can get like a whole bunch and they're tiny. And then these are glow peppers. Glow peppers grow a little bit longer than the Cupid ones. The Cupid ones are more mini and short, and the glow ones, they grow a little bit longer. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get these guys into the bags. So I also forgot that I have sweet basil, and I have some cilantro that I'm also going to be taking care of. And I'm going to be doing the sweet basil first, and then afterwards I'll do the cilantro. I'm right now taking care of the jar, because it has like this sticky residue on the jar, and so I'm using baking soda with vinegar to make like a paste, and I'm using that to get it off, that sticky residue, and then I'll be labeling that jar for the cilantro. Now some of these leaves are like brown like this. I'm not going to be collecting those leaves. I'm going to just try to focus on the green leaves. Most of the brown are down below on the stem, so it should be fine. I also have seeds on here that I'm going to be harvesting as well, and I think I already have a bag full of sweet basil seeds. I gotta find that, and then if not, I'll just get another bag. Okay, so I did the plant over here with the sweet basil, and I have another sweet basil plant that was, because that one I'm pretty sure was from outside, and then this one was from inside on the window shelf. And so I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. It's maybe hard to see, but I got my little pile of seeds right here. These seeds are very small, so it's taken me a little bit of time to get them out. The seeds are in here, and here, I'll get an up close shot. Okay, so I'm going to try to show the seeds are in here, and so I have to open these and get the seeds out. Oh, some of them sometimes go flying. And I'm just continuing to do this until I get all of the seeds out. There's about like, I don't know, 3 to 4 seeds, maybe more like 2 to 4 seeds in each little like pocket. I don't know what you want to call that. It's easier to cut them off and then mess with it instead of grabbing the whole stem. But yeah, this is essentially what I've been doing. So I'm going to continue this and then I will be back. Okay, so these are the sweet basil seeds. I'm going to go ahead and just put them in a different bag because I was thinking I can label the year on this one. So I was able to get most of the residue off. It was on this side and this side. There is a little bit left still, but it's okay. I'm gonna label this for the cilantro. Okay, so we've got most of the shelf cleaned off. There's a tool here that does not need to be there. That's where all the wild bergamot was on this shelf. And then there's some other things over here I need to clean up. Those are seeds from the cucumbers, and then that plate is starting to crack. So I'm gonna try to use it for something else, not sure what. And then all of this is the German winter time. It's getting a little late. And I want to work on this a different day because I really want to get all this done in one day. We got some rope over here for the garden and other things. Those are all seeds and just dried up leaves. And there's like a spoon over here. This is meant to make teas, and you put your herbs in there, and then you have it like sitting in your cup. I actually haven't used it yet. And then there's mosquito spray over there. So what I'm gonna do for these two shelves is I'm gonna get all that cleaned up, some of this other stuff kind of organized, and then I'm gonna sweep everything. I'm gonna get all of this off. Okay, so I'm gonna be putting all of my seeds away. I'm just gonna be putting them in this container. I don't really have it too organized, but kind of organized. I do have everything in different bags that's sectioned off of what it is. So like, this is lettuce. These are brassicas. I have like tomatoes, and I have things sectioned off. And then everything over here is basically the seeds that I've kept, and then this is the glass jars that I've kept for the spices. Okay, so this is our spice shelf situation, and so what I want to do is I want to take everything out. I want to wipe everything down and just get this whole shelf cleaned, and everything is pretty organized. Like I know where everything is, but I'll probably maybe organize it a little bit better. I don't know exactly what I'm going to wind up doing, but I'm just going to clean it out, and then we'll put the herbs that I just put into jars in here as well. I keep our stuff that's from home over here, so I have parsley here, I have dill, I need to grow more dill, and I have some sage. I got a lot of sage. And yeah, we also have like, you know, parsley from the store and stuff, so I try my best to keep up with what we have so that we don't have to buy as much. But, you know, like this sage, for example, we had this before I started growing some and having it, so I usually like to use up what we have already from the store, and then if I'm able to keep up with it in bulk, the other stuff, then I'll just not buy any more from the store and then just keep doing what we're doing. That is all that I have for today's video. Thank you for joining along with what I was doing today and just getting everything organized in the pantry, and also from yesterday making the apple crisp as well. I'm glad that you guys are watching this video and that you've made it this far. I hope that you guys have a great week. I will see you in the next video, and bye-bye.